the Superman um, Superman review. Actually, let me update that. I know some people know what we're talking about, but I'm just gonna put 2025 on there. MC, what were your thoughts on the Superman movie?
I liked it. I'll come off right away, and I'm probably standing alone when I say this. I wasn't the biggest fan of Henry Cavill being Superman, and I thought that
Damn!
they
Holy shit!
um,
I was
now some of
I
that
wasn't
wasn't his.
expecting
Some of
that.
that wasn't his fault though. Some of that wasn't his fault because he is a good actor. I just don't think that was the right
Uh,
age for him.
you already said it. So let's go ahead.
No, I said what I said. I'll stand on it. Like I said, sometimes you can be a good actor, just not have the best role. I don't think that was the case. Well, I think that was the case here. And another thing, I think that Gunn is probably going to turn DC around. I know the last couple of movies they did before this was him just releasing everything that was in the chamber. Even that Flash movie, which a lot of people kind of hated, I thought it was cool.
Yeah,
But that Ezra Miller guy, I didn't like him as the Flash either.
but
So he's
MC,
recasting everything. The casting of this movie was great. I don't think I think this was a better portrayal of Superman because if we're being honest about this, TR, he had Midwestern slash Christian values. He really didn't like to fight unless he absolutely had to, and they didn't overpower him like they did the last Superman. They tried to make the argument during that Justice League movie that he was faster than the Flash. You want to talk about overpowered and overstated? Nah.
I don't know, MC. They're gonna the comic folks that know the comics. So I want to say I feel like super. Well, we're not comic bros, but I feel like there's been some conversation. I think it go either way, depending on who's writing. Is going to say Superman's faster than Flash.
Show me an example where Superman ran back and traveled through time because of how fast he was running.
Did he do that in what was it, Superman 2 or 3? When he went back and he spun the earth around?
He did spin the Earth around, but did he travel through time?
That yes. Did you I don't know if you've seen it. Did you see the old Superman movies? Or do you remember seeing them?
Nah, I didn't, and
Yeah.
I'll admit that. But I would argue that he's not faster than the Flash, especially
Yeah.
if you know about the Speed
So
Force and what it's fully capable of. But go ahead,
look,
Tr.
I get all that. I get okay. This was MC. We're on a different side on this one.
That's fine.
I thought it was bad, honestly though. And even though, see, the crazy thing about it, a lot of people are saying they loved it, or critics say they loved it, and I don't really feed into critics, or especially I listen to the audience more than the critics. And they're all saying that they're loving. I did see it, and I saw it like almost on opening weekend, and I walked out of it. This is supposed to be the lead off into the James Gunn verse, and this was not a good showing though because for one, you said they depowered Superman. And I would say, yeah, to some degree, you may have to depower him a little bit. But this is a problem. He got his ass kicked every single time. He had to get help from the dog. He had to get help from Lois. He had to get help from pretty much everybody. I think there was only one time where when he's doing a little spin cycle thing with the that they stole from Iron Man in the first one, with the was it the first one or the second? No, I think it was the second one, the one with Rhodey. So when they are back to back, and yeah, that was the second one. We did the laser spin. But anyways, I thought I didn't think it was a good version of Superman. I think the actor playing Superman was okay, but what they did to him, they just made him like I get the whole pacifist role, but when you're saving like squirrels, and then I didn't like how they did some of the setups there too because I didn't have a problem with Lois Lane. Actually, pretty much all the characters or people, the actors, I didn't have a problem with any of them. I think Mr. Terrific, the crazy thing, the
He stole the
best
show as far
battle,
as I'm concerned.
yeah, but the best battle in a Superman movie was Mr. Terrific.
Yeah,
Isn't that
I agree.
insane? And the only person that should be saving Lois Lane is Superman. Mr. Terrific saved Lois Lane. And then the Justice Gang, I wasn't a fan of Hawkgirl though, because there's something off about that whole mask thing, and it just looked really weird to me. But I like Green Lantern, and it'll be nice seeing some other characters in the on the big screen. Get some more screen time though. But I mean, Mr. Terrific, most people by and large really love Mr. Terrific's part. And though I wasn't aware of Mr. Terrific until I had to look him up, see how OP he was. And he's a great DC character. Um, as far as like the fighting with Superman, like I said, it was just BS. I got tired of Crypto. Crypto was annoying as hell. Even towards the end. Oh, also, this is spoilers, so if you ain't seen it, too bad, so sad. But when he gets to the end where Lex is like crying and he's trying to have a moment with Superman, telling him like why he's doing what he's doing, Crypto just comes out of nowhere and interrupts that moment. Like, I thought he was about to say something profound. I thought he was going to be like, you know what? I don't give a damn, Superman. I am who I am, and and you're a fraud, and I'm going to prove that. Prove it to the world. So you won this time, but I'm not going to go away or anything. Which he probably won't go away. I even thought the Lex guy. I think he was okay. He's not my favorite Lex, but I thought he was okay for the most part.
Oh, we
And
gonna really disagree.
yeah. As far as like Ultraman, I looked up Ultraman. Again, we're not comic bros over here. Some of this stuff is on the surface level, but we looked at, I saw Ultraman, and I was like, man, Ultraman is actually pretty, badass in the comics. He has this whole thing called the Crime Syndicate, what is the evil version of the Justice League. And I was like, damn, that's Ultraman. I was like, okay, cool. But in the movie, he comes off like Bizarro. Like he's being told what to do, how to fight with Superman, with who moves at the speed of a bullet. And Lex has enough foresight to say, hey, this is what he's going to do in a split second. And then when they interrupt that, the communication, the dude can't fight anymore. That's not Ultraman in the comics. That's more or less Bizarro, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you being a little bit too harsh, TR. Let me start with some other stuff you
Not
said
even I
about
even started.
Superman himself. So this is supposed to be a younger version of Superman. He doesn't even realize his full potential of power until we get closer to the
Hey,
dark side stuff and the
according
Crisis
to
on Infinite Earth stuff.
I know, but according to the movie, in the beginning, they said this is like the last. I think they said 3 years, but it might be seven. Anyways, he wasn't just a regular. It wasn't
That's
like
fine, TR, but he's still a younger Superman. And
it's not
I
Superman day
think we
one.
completely disagree on Lex Luthor. He was such a good character that everybody in the theater when I watched it hated his guts. So that tells me he's on the level of me. His acting in that movie, you know how in Game of
You still
Thrones,
want to hate
the
Lex.
lady that plays Cersei, Lena Headey, she said people still hate her to this day for that role that she played as Cersei. And I think he's got the potential
Better
to
shave your
evolve
head.
into that type of Lex Luthor. Now, Mr. Terrific, did you ever watch the show Arrow on CW?
I knew he was on there, and I never got
They
into
made
Arrow.
him. They changed the sexual orientation. They made him a complete beta. He
Wait,
was
what
gay.
do you mean, Mr. Terrific's a guy? Would they change?
They made him gay. And they made him a beta on the Arrow TV show. He was gay. Now, I've never heard them talk about his sexuality in the comics, but I've always assumed him to be more of an asexual type anyway. But this was a better portrayal of Mr. Terrific than that TV show ever did, and I'll stand on that too. But I like the casting here. I think they're setting themselves up. The end credits were kind of, I didn't get anything out of those.
They're mid.
Yeah, that they were very mid. But the movie itself, I got excited about it. This is the weakest Marvel has ever been, and I think DC is going to make back some ground based on some of the stuff that James Gunn wants to do. He's doing some great things with DC right now. I don't know if you see Creature Commandos, but that is an amazing
See,
animated show.
I'm okay with Peacemaker, Creature Commandos. I saw both of those. Thought that was great. Um, there was what was the other one he did? I can't. I'm blanking on it.
I mean,
But
Peacemaker was pretty good too.
yeah. So the problem with Gunn, and I'm starting to realize this because I said this last week when we were talking about Kevin Feige and Ironheart. James Gunn may have peaked, and I say that because he did great with Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, And when he left, and then I forgot why they left. Either he got fired for being silly, or something, some bullshit happened. But so James Gunn, he goes over to DC, hits it out of the park with Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, and then well, one of his first acts was to get rid of Henry Cavill. And so it's like, okay, I mean, people actually liked Henry, but it wasn't like he was a terrible actor, and they could have really expanded on that. But he wanted to do his own thing, which I get it. Hey, you're the director. You've been given the keys to the kingdom, so do something about it, though. But the problem I had with the whole Superman thing was he, again, he made him too much of a pacifist. He didn't even use his full suite of powers. And the most egregious thing that I thought was like, there were two egregious things. First was that garage door opening scene. I was like, this is so stupid. You didn't have to put that in there. It was like the movie was trying to be fun. It's like it was trying hard to be funny. And then when it got a little serious, it was like, okay, this is dumb, because the scene where Lois and Superman, or Clark, and then he switches to Superman, when they're doing the interview, it sounded like they're going somewhere. And I was actually okay with that, because she's asking like very basic questions. And Superman, it gets on that, is he bigger than a program? Like, and I think he is, because he's Superman. But he did go over there and just do some wild stuff. You would think uh when Superman went over there, that was, and symbolism for the United States messing with Israel and Iran. You would think that was, he was trying to sneak some activism in there. But for the most part, though, they really didn't go any layers deep with him, other than Superman is just kind of he's not a good fighter, and he is he ended up being outshined by other people in his own damn movie. And this is supposed to be the jump off into the gun verse. This movie has to do, maybe this movie is probably going to do like 500, 600 million, and that movie is expected, and it should have done 800, 900 million, but it's not going to get there.
I think he kind of shot himself in the foot because right as they were doing the pub for this, he made it political. And I
Yeah,
get it.
and I
You
almost didn't see it because of that, but I still saw it.
you wanna tie Superman to immigration, fine, whatever. That's I think the movie would have did great without you doing that. I get the argument, but it looks kind of panderish to me. Like everybody would have enjoyed this movie. Most people would have enjoyed this movie without that. I give it the given the current times, you wanted to insert that in there to kind of show her, hey, everybody, I'm still liberal. Nobody cares, dude. Just make a good movie. People literally don't care about this anymore. Don't fall into the Marvel trap. So you want to have Marvel results. Marvel is struggling right now. They need a home run. They haven't had one in a while, and you don't want to follow that. Do your own thing, man. Just focus on putting out good work.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share a quick video that I found on Ultraman. Like I said, James Gunn, he probably heard who Ultraman was, and he misused Ultraman. They should have just went Bizarro. They should have just used Bizarro for the Superman clone. But this was like a big misstep.
Who is Ultraman? Ultraman is the evil version of Superman from Earth 3 who gains his power from green kryptonite and is depowered by yellow sunlight, making him the complete opposite of Superman. In the world of DC Comics, Earth 3 is a parallel universe where heroes are villains and vice versa. Ultraman is a member of the Crime Syndicate, a group of superpowered individuals who rule their Earth with an iron fist. He is often depicted as a ruthless and malevolent counterpart to Superman, using his powers for selfish and destructive purposes. While Superman draws strength from Earth's yellow sun, Ultraman's vulnerability to it is a significant weakness that sets him apart from the Man of Steel, making him a formidable adversary in their encounters. Who is Ultraman? Ultraman.
That's who Ultraman is. You tell me if James Gunn, if it was a good move to utilize James or use Ultraman the way he used him. Because to me, like I said, that's Bizarro, because Bizarro's not really smart. He's just strong. He's a carbon copy of Superman, but he's just not a formidable bad guy. Ultraman, that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, I kind of thought they were setting up a Bizarro story in the future myself, but we'll see how that goes. But at this point, TR, I'm kind of wondering, give me an example of a DC and Marvel movie that you would give an A+ rating. Because it seems like you seem to be a little bit more picky than I am when it comes to stuff like
Oh, not
this.
even picky. Like I think we could probably say Wolverine and Deadpool was a fantastic movie. Shitty story, but you know, it was a fantastic movie. The Peacemaker series is fantastic. I can't wait for the next season to come out, which is a DC property. And I'm not gonna say like, you know, I'm on that whole bandwagon thing with the Snyder Bros, but I didn't have a problem with the Justice League and the Superman and the Batman.
The
They
Snyder Cut or the original Justice League?
oh, the original. I didn't watch the Snyder Cut. I was like, fuck all that noise.
You might want to watch the Snyder. I know it's like 3 hours, but there's so much stuff in there that wasn't in the original
Oh
cut.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm sure there was, but the problem, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of you know, MC and DC movies that I like. I'm honestly though, if this Fantastic Four movie comes out and it's a big flop, and we're already hearing some things, it might be a wrap for Marvel, and it might be, you know, a wrap for like superhero movies in general, though, because I know they got the Supergirl movie coming out, which no one asked for. Supergirl is popular, but I don't know if this is like, you know, James Gunn is the person to be, you know, putting out these properties, these DC characters, because if this, like I said, this Superman movie might just do 500 million. And this is the month for all superhero movies and dinosaurs because the Jurassic Park movie just came out. One more thing that I did not like about the Superman movie was what they did to you know, the Clark or Kal-El's parents. They basically
Yeah,
told
yeah,
him that he is to conquer them and then, you know, take a harem. Like, what the hell are y'all doing? That was so unnecessary
yeah,
to display something like this or to have that make a talking point. Because most version, actually, there's two things. Because I brought up his parents. I didn't like what they did to Clark's parents either because they made them very folksy. Just like they don't know who they. It's like they just found out their son was Superman. I was like, he's the father's like, is Clark gonna be okay? Like what? He's Superman. He's gonna definitely be fucking okay. What are you talking about? Like, and why would Lois even fucking know?
that we agree on. Yeah, we
That's
definitely agree on that.
that's what I'm saying. Like James Gunn just did a lot of silly things. Crypto got way more shine than he deserved. I know a lot of people like that damn dog. But it was just, and you know, it was just one of those things where they did more things to make sure Superman was not super. And like I said, the best fight scene was with Mr. Terrific. And Mr. Terrific's not even like overpowered like that. I mean, with his T spears, but he did a lot of hand-to-hand combat though. So that actually made it kind of cool that he was fighting that way because he's playing to his abilities. And then I thought there was some unnecessary stuff that goes on though. But I really wanted to like the Superman movie. It just wasn't good.
I disagree. So this is one of those ones we gonna just. I'm actually excited to see what happens next. So I'm all in on DC right now, and hopefully Marvel can save themselves. But and I know all you comic book heads are going to come for us in the comments because y'all know everything about everything. So go ahead.
Hey, you know, I don't mind the comic bros getting in here. It's just that, like I said, when it comes like, you know, some of there were a lot of people that like the Superman movie, people that are generally critical that they like the Superman movie. I was really surprised to hear that they enjoyed watching the Superman movie. Look, I know a lot of people gave Superman Returns a lot of flack though. You guys, I mean, that movie was better than this movie. So take that for what you will, but that
Nah, you on
Superman
your own
Returns is
there.
way better than this movie. Just go see that one.
You on your own with that one. I say I like it. I say go check it out. But y'all decide for yourselves and let us know in
Well,
the
catch it on
comments.
streaming.
Let us know in the comments what y'all thought about it because we obviously disagree on this one.
Definitely. So, all right.